house in what's called the court of women. And this is where Mary places money into one of the offering chests. Remember when I did that long study on tithes and offering, and I talked about all the chests that sit out and what they all of them the different meanings of them. Well, Mary put in her money, just like the widow that had put in her 2 mites in the chest. It was the chest that was particularly women put in, and it was if you were poor. And this became the first indication that Mary and Joseph were poor, because what she offered was the money of what was equivalent for the pigeons. Remember, the command had been, if she doesn't have a lamb, then for her to give, then to offer the pigeons or the turtle doves, which was the offering for poor. So this is a couple, oh my God, said, I hope this is really speaking to you today. They weren't well off. They had to do all this traveling, government inconvenience, then the requirements of the law, waiting another month, just to go all the way back again, traveling past Bethlehem to get to Jerusalem. Then they get to Jerusalem, have to walk through the whole city and up all these steps and through these courts, up through these gates, just to get to the point to give an offering. Just so I can get started to give the offering. Then after she puts the money in, now she climbs another 15 steps. You say, Pastor Chris, when is this going to stop? Now she's got to climb another 15 steps to go through another gate. And then she stands at the threshold of this gate. She can't go any further, because this is the court of priests, and she can't go into this court, but so she's right at the gate. But you can see through this gate, you can see the temple. At this point, this is where one of the officiating priests, see how it's all connected? Remember, Zacharias was one of those priests that works in, so one of the officiating priests who was on duty, their turn to be on duty. This is where he would come up to her and sprinkle her with the sacrificial blood and then declare that Mary is cleansed. She's been through her purification process. And it's at this point that she can now offer her infant child. And here's the issue: when they did this, another offering was necessary, because this is how they handled this. You would give the child to the priest, and then you would pay his ransom, pay back. Offer the child, give him to the priest, and then take this money and give it to get your child back. You paid a ransom for your child. So this is at this point, they're just coming in so that she could start to go through this process. And then another super fantastic thing happens. They get interrupted by this old man who walks up to them. And this guy's name is Simeon. And it just so happened that day he felt moved upon by the Lord to go to the temple. And God had made this man a promise. God had told this man, Simeon, you won't die until you see the anointed one. So as he's walking through the temple court, he's probably still trying to figure out, why am I here? What's God got me here for? Until he sees this woman with this baby. And then he knows this is the one. He takes the baby from her and says, Lord, now let your servant, I can go in peace, because my eyes have seen your salvation. I've seen it for myself. I can die now. I've seen him. I'm holding him. Imagine what Mary's feeling like after all this they done gone through. Go all the way back through the months, carrying the secret. Almost losing her fiance. An angel has to tell him that your wife ain't crazy. Having this secret inside of you. Journeying for almost a week because of the inconvenience of government bureaucracy and stuff to go register. And then having to give birth to this baby in a humiliating place. Then these kids come busting in and saying, angels told us about you. Then you have to go back home for the circumcision ceremony and then wait a little over a month until you can travel back again all the way to Jerusalem to go through these gates and courts and climbing all these steps. And then you have to pay these offerings and do the ransom. And some man walks up to you and takes your baby and says, I've been waiting all of my life to see this. Come on, bless the Lord.